Hi, Sully. Welcome back. Tell me, how can I help you today?
Okay, so today I wanted to talk about the fact that I think that my concentration has decreased a lot, like the last, yeah, maybe last month I would say, because I started like pretty good and like having a good performance I would say, but now I think that I'm feeling kind of uh, not giving it too much interest to a lot of things. So that's something that is concerning me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that you're having some concentration problems,
Yeah.
and that you started this semester like really well, like you could concentrate, but now it's like declining because you have lost interest.
Yes, I would say.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit more about what have you lost interest in?
Okay, so I think that mainly in the university, I would say, because, for example, at the beginning of the semester, I was like ready with everything, and it doesn't cost me too much, like starting to study or reading. But right now, I know that I have to do stuff, but I tend to procrastinate a lot more than before, and it's kind of I feel that right now it's something that I'm doing my stuff, but I'm not giving my best, I would say. So that's something that I know that it's not right, but I don't know how how to change it. So
Okay.
yeah.
So right now you were saying that you're doing the stuff.
Yeah.
Well, after you procrastinate them,
Yeah.
and then you're not performing as well as you would like to.
Yes. I mean, I'm like doing everything, but yeah, I'm in like giving to my professors everything that I have to give. But and like in the process before that, I think that I'm kind of I tend to need hours to do something that it's pretty like that I would do it faster maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's maybe because I lost interest, and then the moment that I'm doing it, I'm like, okay, let's do this. I can do that, and then in the point I just lose my concentration and lose my interest again. Even though I like the topics or I like whatever I'm doing, but that's something that it's going on lately.
Okay. And like, have you noticed that you've lost interest in like, other areas for your life? Like, for example, do you go out with your friends? What do you like to do?
Okay, so in that aspect, I think that not. I think that maybe it got better actually, because like I think that my circle of friends are is pretty good right now. So I get my time to see them like for a few minutes or for a day, for example. But I haven't lost interest in that aspect. I think that it's more just kind of academic stuff,
Okay.
and maybe it's because I'm in my last year and I don't know. I want to. I don't want the time to pass maybe, and I'm like, okay, it's the last, like the last page. Let's chill out, and it's not okay to do that. I know.
Okay.
Yes, that's all.
And well, just going a little bit back to the procrastination and the doing the work not as good as you could. Have you seen that reflected in your grades, or are you not worried about that?
Actually, not that much, because for example, I have right now I have like two papers to give, and I know that like my time is going out, but and then and I'm like, okay, I will take like 2 or 3 hours, but at the same time I'm aware that I would be like blowing my mind and getting desperate the moment that I know that I have to hang that out. So, but like in the last homeworks or projects, everything, I have like good grades. And regarding my thesis, I like for example, I have spoke a little bit with my tutor, and I haven't had an answer, but I am not like putting effort to search and start doing it. So I know what I want to do, but I think that what I need is this push and interest to keep going and doing it.
Okay.
And yeah, because when I start doing it, I like okay, I start doing it. I do it. I give it. I have good grades, but I think that I could give more, like in the process.
Okay. So to summarize up until this point, you've said that you haven't lost interest in other areas of your life. That you have a group of good friends, and like you do spend time with them and all that. And you're more worried about. Well, it seems to me that you're more worried about um, your lack of motivation, not even as in consequences, but mostly for yourself.
Yes.
Like you haven't seen this lack of motivation slash procrastination reflected in any of your grades, but you still want to do better.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's like in the process maybe will I start like accomplishing everything, because I started pretty good, like with all motivation, and I don't know what happened in class, but I tend to give priority to other things.
Okay, like
And
what kind of other things?
For example, I think that exercising maybe
Okay.
if I had to study or if I have the option of going to train or everything, I choose training.
Okay.
And then I get to my home and I want to start doing things because I feel that energy. And the moment that I start doing it, I lose my attention and concentration pretty fast. And all I want to do is sleep, for example.
Okay.
And then I go to sleep, but I'm thinking about the things that I should have done. So I can't sleep, and then tomorrow I would get up earlier and start doing things, but I take a lot of time in that.
Okay. So, but then on this point, would you say that you're not sleeping as well as you used to, or is that not a problem?
I would say I haven't thought about that, but for example, I have this rush, I would say, because I spend this time concealing my sleep, but I have this rush because of I know that the next day I have to wake up earlier to do that.
Okay.
So, for example, if I start sleeping at 1 a.m., for example, I automatically think that I have to get up earlier, 6:30 a.m., even though I have class in the afternoon. So but that's something immediately, and I tend to think okay, chill out, you can sleep a little bit more and rest better. But it's something that it's even though I don't put alarm, like at 6:30 I'm already awake. So
Okay.
I don't know.
So kind of what I get from what you're saying is that, well, even though you don't have a motivation and then you procrastinate to the very last minute, you still are able to get things done right, and just turn them in. So okay, so I wanted to explore a little bit more. Like you said, this is your last semester.
My last year.
Your last year.
Yes, my
Okay.
last year.
So you would be finishing the undergrad when?
On December.
Okay.
But I think that, for example, since I'm not putting that effort in my thesis, maybe I would take a little bit more time.
Okay.
So I know that I have to do also things in summer, paseo and that stuff.
Okay.
And I'm searching that. I'm giving more priority to that, actually. And I think that for me, it's not a big rush. It's not a priority to end up faster, but good. But at the
Okay.
same time, I'm procrastinating a lot, so
Okay.
that's my issue.
I see. So I would like you to maybe illustrate a little bit, what are your thoughts on this being your last year? Because it sounds like it's a big deal.
Yeah. It got me surprised last semester, because I was taking my semester as usual, and somebody told me like, did you hang out the papers for last semester and like did the Luciana and everything? And I was like, shit, this is my last year. And then I came to like notice that, and in that first aspect, I told you I was pretty in shock. Like, this has passed really fast. Maybe I don't want it to end because I want to do a lot of things, but I'm feeling that I'm having trouble in starting those things that I want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, I would say, the main problem, because I had this like issue to start doing it.
But
I
you
know-
mean starting things that you actually want to do?
Yes, because
for
for
example?
example, homeworks I want to do. I know that they're interesting, that would help me. I start thinking about them, like I'm gonna do this, and how I'm gonna do it. And but then the moment that I have to, it's kind of, well, let's do it better, and I think that maybe I have some fear, I would say, about the thoughts that you told me my last semester. So I'm pretty indecisive about my my last year at the university and what I'm gonna do afterwards.
Okay. So you mentioned fear. Is that related to what you just said? Like what you're gonna do after, or what are you afraid of?
Yeah, I think that, well, I have clear that I want to work before like going and still study, because I don't know which field I would like to be.
Okay.
Because I like a lot of things, but I don't know. I've been like reflecting about, I have to do a lot of things before I decide what I want to keep going through, and like first, and but at the same time, I don't know how things are gonna go, you know.
Okay.
And I've been thinking like, okay, there's a lot of possibilities, and I have to make decisions, and I'm not feeling like brave enough to take that. So
Like brave enough? What do you mean?
yeah, brave enough. I mean, like I think that I'm not ready.
Okay.
In some way, not. Yeah, I would say not ready. So that makes me feel this fear, but I know that I have to take those decisions, and I think that I at the same time don't have the bravery enough to say, okay, I will do this, and start doing it, and I don't give a fucking thing, and I would start, but yeah, it's this lack of motivation maybe that's there. So that's the fear that I
Okay. I see. And for your internships, like what are your thoughts on that? Like
my
what's-
internship.
Yeah, PASEM and all that.
Okay, so I had some experience like a year and a half ago, or even more, because I was in third semester, like ending up, and I was in the center of psychology too, and I learned a lot. It was like private practice, and like my boss in that time told me like, if you want to come here, come afterwards. But right now I want to get more experience, because I think that private practice doesn't allow you to grow clinically, maybe, because I know that the opportunity is right there, and I would want to go there, but with more more experience in other fields. So
Okay.
I was considering to work with. First, I thought, no, my thoughts right now are like, maybe I would like to work in like a woman's jail, or
Okay.
yeah, because I think that I'm pretty sure that I want to work like with clinical cases, and I think that there's like a lot of field there, and there's the most clinical population maybe that has been neglected from a lot of things. So that are my plans. But as I told you, I haven't like go to the office and say like, hey, do you have a convenio? I don't know how to say it. But I know that I have to do that, and I know that I have to
Like do that fast.
do that fast. But yeah, it's this maybe lack of of motivation, I would say again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
That's my
I guess what I'm picking up from everything that you just explained, and correct me if I'm wrong, obviously, is that maybe this lack of motivation that you're feeling in the procrastination is more due to you being, well, feeling all this fear for actually like getting into the field. Like it's like at the same time you like want to explore that, like what you're saying in the women's jail or maybe in the private practice. Um, but it's more like you're scared of actually putting that in action,
Yeah.
and actually not being good at that. Is it
Yeah.
maybe?
Yeah, exactly. I think that it's that because I've questioned myself, everything that I've learned. Like I'm in this process of discovering maybe what I want to do and how I want to do it, and maybe I had like a lot of critics on the field that I'm gonna do because I know that I wanna like have like learn a lot. I want to learn a lot about everything and do the best in my practice. But at the same time, I maybe don't know how to handle the resources that I have to take or the process that I have to make to achieve the best that I can
Okay.
in that aspect. And yeah, learn from that because I've been thinking a lot of that, and I've been thinking like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do everything, and in that point, I think that so much that I don't do anything. So, at the same time, that frustrates me because I have a lot of ideas right now, but as you said, maybe I'm too afraid to go out to the field and like go to out of the bubble. So
Right.
yeah, that's something that I think that has concerned me.
Yes. And so, besides your own thoughts and besides your own maybe criticisms to yourself, how's your family in this topic? Like,
Okay, I haven't speak too much about that with them.
okay.
I've like this weekend actually. Well, my parents have like I don't know how to say business regarding construction materials.
Okay.
So the guy that used to help them I don't know how to say it, like the one that hangs things and put it in the other
Okay.
way. Yeah.
Like a carrier?
Yeah, Carrie. Yeah. He quit, so my parents were like working in that, and I was like, okay, I'm Quito, I need to help them in that. So I speak with them like this weekend, and I told them like if you need me to come here like in vacations, I would be like glad to put the Paseo en Paseo and do it in Ambato, and it doesn't matter for me. And that because I have to take summer classes, and my parents were like, no, we already have somebody, and don't you worry, we'll be talking about that. But regarding like my last year itself, we haven't speak too much, and that was the only topic that was like talked about, and actually it's because I avoid the topic. I
Okay.
don't want to speak about that, and yeah, like my aunts or everybody is like, oh, it's your last year, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't want to speak about that anymore. So it's something that I've been avoiding too.
Okay. So you're telling me that your family have went through this period of maybe a little trouble because they needed someone to help in the business,
Yeah.
and you gladly offered to go and help them.
Yeah.
And so, for a little, you considered doing your internship in Ambato, but not anymore now.
Actually, I was. I don't know how it's like jail system works in Ambato, but I think that, for example, I have a pretty strong opinion about how like psychology is taken in there. Like I have an opinion in how Ecuadorian systems are in that aspect, and that's why I want to do my best in that.
Okay.
But in Ambato, I think that it's a very like we a poor really really poor system where I could learn. So I would wanna, like my priority is doing it here because I think that it's better than that.
Like they have more resources.
Yeah, yeah. It's another uh, like field. It's kind of more development, I would say.
Okay.
But in Ambato, I haven't found any place that I would say, okay, I want to learn from here, or I could get good supervision, get good practices, or learn from somebody that could be my mentor.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I consider that because I think also that everything is an experience. But yeah, they told me that like, okay, you keep there in Quito, you don't worry about this. We have this in control, so I was kind of don't I wasn't worried about the situation with my parents.
Okay.
In that aspect. Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like even though you're not putting it in practice, you do have a plan developed about
Yeah.
how you want to proceed and all that, like we talked before. Why or why would you say that you've been avoiding this topic with your family?
Okay, because I've been avoiding this topic about my last year because I think that I don't have all the answers right now.
Okay.
Because and I haven't been putting my efforts on it, like in the practice, because I have thinking a lot. So something that I didn't wanna like face, I think, and I know that it's important. Like I'm pretty conscious about that, but I would want to achieve a way to start doing it and feeling good about it because at the same time I know that procrastinating gives me some satisfaction at that moment but in the long term it got me to avoid that because I don't want to think about that and it has been kind of a difficult topic maybe for me. Yeah.
Okay. So do you think that they would demand you to have the answers of everything right now? Is it like a pressure you feel?
I would say that it's the pressure from them. I think that it's more inside of me.
Okay.
Because my parents are like pretty comprehensive, I would say. And for example, if they told me and I would talk about them, I think that I would picture myself like crying, and my mom like, okay, don't you worry, don't be that pressured. But at the same time, I feel in debt with them. So I think that I will be feeling that I'm not accomplishing everything that they gave to me, giving it back to them.
Okay.
So, not taking advantage of the opportunities that I'm having right now. So
Okay.
that's why I don't want to face that because it would be so shame for me. Yeah.
Okay. So what you're telling me is that there's no direct pressure from your family at all. It's more like you wanting to honor everything that they have given you by taking the opportunities that you have here.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay. So do you think that when you start doing the PASEM, the internships and all that, do you think that that would help you alleviate some of the tension about your last year?
Yeah, I think that it could help me. I've been thinking about that and thinking about all the things that I could do in that internship. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, I have to do my thesis. I have to take these classes. I have to perform well and learn and do all the things that they demanded me to do in the internship. So I know that I could relieve that, starting to do that things right now, not later. But then I face the same things that we've talked about. So
Right.
that's one of the concerns. But I think that it would be pretty satisfying starting my internship and trying to learn more, and if I can practice things or applying some things.
Okay. And just about to finish for your thesis, what are your thoughts on that? Because we've talked about like some of the, fear of actually putting in practice the things you've learned and all that. But then, how is it different from your thesis, or how is it similar?
Okay, the thesis I consider it like the lack of motivation again to sit down and start reading everything and start kind of writing, because I have all the idea, but I put like all the information that I've already searched, like in the first months that I started, like the semester, that I was like on my 100%, and then I started reading it and going past through it, but I cannot progress in that, and that's the thing regarding my thesis. I know that if I could sit down and start doing it, like reading it and doing it everything like for a day, I would do it, and I would do my best. But at the same time, I think that I'm avoiding to do that process at the same time.
Okay.
And it's not because I don't have interest in the topic itself, because I like what I've decided, but is this step that I want to take of sitting and start doing reading and everything.
Okay. So it seems like maybe since you already have a plan figured out for the internship, maybe we should focus on like maybe study techniques or relaxing techniques, so you can like start actually concentrating and doing your thesis.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.